The transition tensions between President Trump and President-elect Biden are heating up. Just listen to what Biden had to say at his press conference yesterday. Take a look.
More people may die if we don't coordinate. If we have to wait until January 20th to start that planning, it puts us behind over a month, month and a half. It would make it a lot easier if the president were to participate, but I find this more embarrassing for the country than debilitating for my ability to get started.
So the question is, does Biden have a point that failing to coordinate will result in more deaths? Or is this fear-mongering, trying to pressure and shame President Trump? What do you think, Jeff?
This is a tough one, Sam. A little of both, actually. That's what I think. I think the president, Donald Trump, is doing what he needs to do because in his mind and in his campaign and the people around him think he still has a chance to win this presidency, right? I always take it back to 2000. That's the only time that we remember, right, in the recent history. We didn't know till December 12th. Tell who our president was. So I think Donald Trump in his mind still has a chance. Joe Biden absolutely thinks he's the next president, and he wants to get the ball rolling, right? So as soon as he's inaugurated, the ball's rolling. So I see both of their sides on this one.
Erica?
I think you have to try telling that to families who are going to lose a loved one in the next month and a half, while two people who are either the leader and the pending leader of this country are hashing it out. Think of it more fundamentally. Like, you're building a house and you have people who are working for you, just like the people in our government. They work for us. I don't care what the divisiveness is between the two of you. You need to figure it out for the person that you are working for. So get it together and figure it out, because this is not a time for ego. It's not a time for where the power lies. It's a time for people to be very selfless about the idea that they have a job to do. One is finishing the job, one starting the job, but everybody needs to do the job. Otherwise, people will die.
Yeah, and I understand that in the very beginning, you know, President Trump would have any reason, because of the very close margin, right, in some of those votes, that he would have any reason to say, I want to recount. He has every right to do that and ask of that. But now that we've heard from different Secretary of States, depending on which state you're looking at, from the election committee that's set up to oversee voter fraud, and they've come out and said, quote unquote, that this is the most safe, secure election in history. Now, in my opinion, it's his time to be respectful, especially when we have the entire eyes of the entire world looking at our country. We don't want to appear weak, and we are going to appear weak if we have two leaders not communicating. So don't you think now that he has that information that he was waiting for and his constituents, that he should fold?
Yeah, listen, Sam, in a perfect world, right? But Donald Trump, listen, buddy, your ego is not your amigo. He thinks he's going to win. You know, like you're not going to talk him. You're not going to talk him off that ledge. My thing here, I should have just stopped with that. But my thing is if Biden and his whole campaign team think Trump did such a horrible job with this whole coronavirus thing, what's there to discuss? He should already be in discussions of what his plans moving forward with the coronavirus
there needs to be a transition. Like, there's information. There's a lot of things. Here's the thing. My number one question is, what does it hurt in order to try to peacefully come together and figure out a way that less Americans die? Like, what is the fall? What's the end game that's so terrible that could happen?
I can't argue with that. You're absolutely right.
Let me get some comments in here, because you know what, Jeff, you're not alone. A lot of people believe that this is unnecessary fear-mongering. At least our DBL Nation feels that way. We have Mainlining Truth on Twitter saying this is unnecessary fear-mongering. Adnil on Facebook, President Trump not providing access is not causing death. Labs are still doing their work. This is Biden putting blame on the president. And Betty says the president is being petty and Biden is right. This will end up costing lives. But is anyone surprised that Trump's ego is standing in the way? Echoing your sentiment. Final thought.
Yeah, I think that labs are still doing the work. Science doctors still are doing the work. You know who else is doing the work? My father, who's a funeral director, whose numbers keep going up every single day, specifically from COVID-19. So we can talk about it like it's not happening, but I can tell you right now it absolutely is.